Hola, hola, and buenos dias, buenos tardes, buenas noches. Or, of course, we could always just say bienvenidos. So, depending on when you are listening to this, welcome back to Tech and Tequila, or welcome for the first time to Tech and Tequila. This is the podcast where technology meets community, and of course, we have positive vibes, amazing tastings, I should say, even better tastings. And that's why we're Tech and Tequila. I'm your host, your Techie Chica Kat Lopez-Shelby, and today we are diving into a topic that every business, and when I say every, I mean every business, whether you're a startup or you've been around for a while, whether you're retail or you're in the oil field, this is something that you need to talk about, to think about, and really delve into, and that is about building business resilience. So, I'm sure that you've heard the term business resilience before, but in 2025, resilience is not just a buzzword. It is the new competitive advantage for businesses. So today we're going to talk about how to keep your business thriving through chaos, AI disruption, and of course, a certain level of market uncertainty during these, we'll say, these crazy times we're going through. Of course, we're going to chat about all of it. But first, if you've been here before, you know how we do it. We got to talk about tequila. So let's make this clear. We are all about to go celebrate some amazing times with our families. Well, I should say we all are. If you're in the US, you're about to celebrate some amazing times with your family. You're going to celebrate El Dia de los Gracias or Thanksgiving. And let me tell you, you will be the winner of this turkey dinner. If you show up for Thanksgiving and you bring in a bottle of Losafi, if you have not heard of Losafi before, I am going to let you in on this amazing secret about it. So first, Losafi is perfect for the holidays because let's be real, the holidays are hectic enough for everyone. You deserve to be able to bring something that shows up ready to work. And unlike that one tia or Theo that brings nothing to the potluck, you are going to make sure and bring something. You're going to bring something to that dinner and you're really bringing it. So Losafi is a ready-made margarita, and it is the MVP, I'm telling you, of ready-made margaritas. It's perfect for the El Dia de los Gracias table. So you may wonder, why is it perfect? Well, first off, let me tell you, Losafi hits different. It is smooth, it is refreshing, and it is perfectly balanced. It is like the version of you that exists only after you have cooked, cleaned, hosted, and somehow become, we all know this in IT, the unofficial family IT department, because Lord knows you show up somewhere and someone's like, my Wi-Fi doesn't work. But that is a talk for another day and maybe another drink of Losafi. So what is the flavor profile of a Losafi, you ask? Well, it is citrus forward. It is lightly sweetened. And let me make this very clear to you. This is not one of those crazy pre-made sugar bombs where you're like, oh, what is this? Or you're going to wake up feeling awful the next day. This is the kind of margarita that makes you say, uno más, por favor. Of course, but responsibly. Because you need to still keep an eye on that turkey or, those kiddos running around stealing the little treats from the table. Of course, they also have 27 devices now connected to your Wi-Fi. So everybody's wondering why nothing's working and the game isn't playing because everything's loading, right? But I digress. So the beauty of Losafi for El Dia de los Gracias is simple. You pop it open, you pour it, and you are done. And if you want to snazz it up, girl, get some chamoy and tahini on there. I'm telling you, mwah, chef's kiss for that. So you will be the star of your gathering, I am for sure. So bring a bottle or maybe 2 or 4, depending on the size of your family. Put it right next to those pies. Maybe keep one for yourself and watch your primos, tios, your full familia flock to it like it's Black Friday at their favorite mercado. So, of course, while we are giving thanks for food, family, and of course, our fiber internet, our high-speed internet that we all have with backup resiliency, let's also give a great big gracias for brands like Losafi that understand the assignment. The holidays should be about connection and not chaos, and Losafi brings it. It is a great ready-made margarita that goes a long way. So, all right, mi gente. Now, We have talked about our drinks. We have brought our tequila bottle, which of course you could see here. It's beautiful. It's a pretty bottle too, by the way. So when it's sitting by them pies, whether you're a pumpkin pie person or a sweet potato person, or, you just desserts galore, whatever dessert you like, it looks beautiful. But now we are going to talk about something so that anyone in IT is not buffering through some nightmare on this El Dia de los Gracias coming up. So let's kind of start with going back to the basics, right? So for years, resilience has meant uptime. That is, we're keeping our systems online, we're keeping our data safe, and that keeps the lights on. But today, honestly, that is not enough. So why is that not enough? In 2025, the State of Disruption report that just came out from Avant, it says something extremely powerful, and that is resilience isn't just an IT metric. It is a business strategy in today's age. So here's what's wild, or I should say, here's some food for thought. 93% of board members see cybersecurity and resilience as directly tied to the shareholder value, but 90% of organizations are not resilience ready or don't feel resilience ready. So let's take that in for a second, maybe do some box breathing, the 5-5-5. 90%. That means that this is a huge opportunity to improve. Because when your technology, people, and processes align, you don't just survive disruption or survive chaos. You grow through it. So don't ask, or I should say, don't just ask, how do we protect our data? Ask, how do we stay open, profitable, and adaptable no matter what happens? Because you want to build in that resiliency. So let's break this down a little further, because here is where things get interesting. The CIO role is transforming. It is no longer the, all right, fix it, folks, hiding in a back room. They are now the growth architects. So a CIO's role obviously has grown. It was important to begin with, but now it's even more important. And so they oversee infrastructure, AI strategy, of course, connectivity, and the entire digital backbone, which we all know in this day and age is, businesses, their digital backbone, their connectivity, all of that is so important. And their new mandate boils down to these three words: performance, agility, and resilience. So if we break that down, let's break it down. So performance, you want to do more with less. Let's consolidate some of those tools. Let's maximize the ROI. Agility, that is the ability to adapt and quickly, because disruption isn't optional. Anybody who works in any way, shape, or form in IT has seen massive changes over, I would say, in the last, we're in 2025, 5 years. So we know starting in 2020 to now, it's been like warp speed in tech. And of course, with AI and, I say who knows, there are people that know, but there's more things to come. All right. You have to be able to adapt quickly, right? Because disruption isn't optional. So the last one, of course, is resilience. So you want to build systems that bend but don't break. And so here's one of my favorite things, and it's one of my favorite stats, because we run into this a lot when we do technology reviews or technology analysis for companies. And companies that consolidate tech platforms save up to 10% annually and are 34% more efficient. And that's not a theory. That's a real money back in your business, right? So if you're using 12 platforms, doing 6 overlapping things, it might be time to maybe take a little detox. It might be time to figure out what all those shadow IT things are going on, because that is going to make a world of difference. And who doesn't want more efficiency? All right. So we're going to switch gears just a little bit, because I know we talked about these crazy disruptions. So let's talk about the topic everybody is buzzing about, and that is AI. because AI is really the ultimate disruptor and defender. That's right. I said defender. So let's talk about that. Used right, it's incredible. You can automate tickets, patching systems, predict outages, reducing breach times by 156 days. And that's amazing. And there are definitely some companies that we work with that I would highly recommend looking into that are utilizing AI, especially with uptimes and with, looking for plausible things that need to be patched, things like that. The flip side of that is what I was talking about earlier, and that's shadow AI. That's employees using AI tools without oversight and sometimes inputting sensitive data into these public models. So whether it's Grok or Claude or Copilot, or of course, Chatty G. We got to talk about what we'll say more the dark side, maybe the dark side of AI. And that is one rogue AI workload can rack up to $100,000 a day in cost. And 20% of the 2025 breaches involved unsanctioned AI tools. So one of the things you want to be thinking about is how do we scale AI safely? And that's where Gartner's AI truism comes in. And what is that? That is trust, risk, and security management, because it creates guardrails to keep your AI useful, compliant, and secure. Because let me tell you, I'm sure as we all know, especially if you've been in classrooms lately or you have, I would say little nuggets, but smaller kids. Well, middle school, I don't have a child that's younger than that, so I can only speak from middle school and above. But let me tell you, AI is not going anywhere, and they are using it constantly. So what you want to do is create guardrails to keep AI useful, compliant, and secure, because it's not going anywhere. And it's definitely time for you as a business to, manage it like any other core system. All right, so now we're going to talk a little more about this resilience dividend. So let's talk about something every business owner cares about, and that is the dinero, the moolah, the bag of it all, right? Budgets are tight. AI costs are rising. I was just talking to a supplier the other day about some of the things that they have, but they're like, really, we bring them to the table, but they're just not cost efficient, Vendor fees are rising, inflation. Well, we won't even talk about that because we're going to need way more LOSA fees. See, the bottle is absolutely, well, you can't see the bottle, but the bottle is absolutely beautiful. We'll put a picture in here for you. And the report, which of course is going to be linked in the summary, breaks down about, what happens if, let's say, you cut some corners and things like that. The report breaks down what's called a resilience dividend. And that is cutting costs strategically by investing in systems that make your business stronger. When you unify platforms, you automate tasks and build resilience first strategy, your total spend goes down, your recovery speed goes up. And I want everybody to take a moment. So whether you're an SMB, you're a medium size, you're oil field, you're retail, you're a restaurant, think about what happens when your systems go down and they don't work. Because there is a way to really put pen to paper and figure out the financial back for this. Because businesses with resiliency built into their operations recover 48 times faster after any major, a major cyber incident or something being down, because you are prepared. So, and that's not just defense, that is a growth strategy, right? Now, of course, I would definitely be not doing what I would say is my job without talking about this. Now, Kat, your Techie Chica, is, we're a technology consulting agency at the base of it. So one of course, my favorite takeaways from this report, which of course will be in the notes, is 68% of businesses now look to trusted advisors, to consultants, because the tech is so complex to navigate alone. So this leads to the question, what is a trusted advisor? Isn't this just your IT person? And let me tell you, no, the answer is not. What your TTA, your trusted advisor, your trusted architect whatever you want to call yourself, the witch, I would say, the Glinda witch of the IT department. Well, I guess I would be the Glinda witch, but whatever, whatever you want to say, is they're your partner in growth. They translate tech talk into business outcomes. They help you decide whether you need 5 platforms, one powerful platform. Are you paying for 12 when maybe you can make that instead of 12, 6? They keep you focused on resilience, profitability, and long-term strategy. And I'm going to give it a plug right here. The other thing is, I work with a lot of SMBs and medium-sized companies. And the thing is that, a lot of times you might have a particular supplier and they're going to be one of the big guys. So think of somebody you've seen a commercial for. Think of somebody you've seen on the Gartner report, the alphabet letters, the whoever. They may not actually be the perfect fit for your company. And there may be a much better solution. And really, that is what I always tell people. Like, if you're like, well, hey, I just call my, local ISP rep, they take care of everything for me. Great. I'm glad you have that wonderful relationship. But the number of times that I have seen where customers, A, number one, are overpaying, or B, number two, they're trying to throw this like square peg into a round hole and make it fit when there's something that's much better, that may be a different supplier and maybe a little niche that we know about. I'm telling you, that is that long-term strategy piece. And that's exactly what we do at Shelby Tech Solutions. We work on simplifying your stack, strengthening your cybersecurity, and making your technology work for you, not against you. Because at the end of the day, number one, we do not want you to be putting out fires on El Dia de los Gratis. I want you to be enjoying your organic philosophy at the end of the day, not grabbing that bottle because your tech has you stressed out. So, familia, as we wrap up this perfectly sized, we'll call it short but sweet, kind of like a quick summary of the report of the state of disruption right now, I want to leave you with this. The question isn't if disruption is coming. It's how fast your business can recover when it does. Because resilience isn't about bouncing back. It is about bouncing forward. It's about designing your tech, your processes, and your mindset for strength and adaptability. So, of course, I'm going to do my plug. Feel free. It's about 30 seconds. Click on your, however you're listening to this podcast. If you want to find out how resilient your business really is, book a technology review with shelbyts.com today. We will walk you through your systems, identify your vulnerabilities, and help you build your resistance roadmap. And let me tell you something. If you're an SMB, you're a medium-sized company, and you're thinking like, I don't even know where to begin, I will personally help you set up. Myself or one of my compadres will help you go through and just kind of get control of your tech. And what does that mean? I always like to talk about it. It's understanding, like, when are your contracts up? What do you have? The number of times we have gone in to work with a customer and i.e. realize they're being billed for something that they don't know about, or they took advantage of something that they were supposed to have for 30 days and now they've had it for 6 months. The last contract that we looked at, in fact, it was about $75 a month, and they had that tacked on for 8 months and didn't realize it, because once it raised, accounts payable wasn't really, they were like, oh, it's the same every single month, when in fact that was supposed to be something that was like a temp. It was only supposed to last for 1 month, not for that 8. So we were able to go in, take that out, and then we actually found a better solution for that customer. So we will make sure and help you build resistance in your roadmap. And that is because at Shelby Tech, we believe tech is made simple. And of course, your tech should work for you and all the good things. So first and foremost, I want to thank you all for joining us today on Tech and Tequila. I hope that this gives you a chance to try out Losophy. If you haven't had it, look it up online. I'm Kat Lopez-Shelby, your Techie Chica. Thanks for tuning in today. Stay secure, stay connected, and reminder, resilience isn't just protection, it's power. And of course, before you go, if you love this or you thought, man, I like this episode. Let me check out some more. Thank you. And of course, go and share this with one of your amigos, because when you share with another mejor who needs it, you're putting the positivity, the good vibes out there. And also make sure you like and follow and spread the word for Tech and Tequila. Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Tech and Tequila. I hope you enjoyed our conversation today. To stay updated about all things tech and more, don't forget to visit us at our website, shelbyts.com. If you loved what you heard, remember to show your support by liking, sharing, and subscribing to our podcast. Your 5-star ratings and reviews mean the world to us and help us to reach more listeners just like you. So muchas gracias again for joining us with Tech and Tequila. Thank you so much. You learned a lot about tech, and maybe you had a nice drink of tequila.